All right, guys. So recently, I've started to get photos from some of you guys that are trying out my video or trying out my carvings from my videos, and I absolutely love seeing those folks out there that are trying out what I put on YouTube, and so I really appreciate you sending me those. I love to see those. You can find me on Instagram, Jeffro Carbs on Instagram, and you can find me on Facebook. Jeff Jenkins on Facebook, not Jeffro Carbs, and you can see some pictures on Facebook and Instagram that you wouldn't normally see on the YouTube channel and on the videos. So some of the photos I put extra photos on Instagram and on Facebook. So if you want to check those out, you can see a few extra carvings, and if you try one out, I really enjoy seeing those. So send me a picture on one of on Facebook or on Instagram. If you can message me, just friend me on Facebook, and I really like seeing those. So today we're going to try out a little sea captain. So I've done one in the past, not a video, but and I think I do have a picture of one on Facebook, but we're going to try a smaller version. The first one I did was about a 6-inch tall. It was a big fella, but today we're going to try to do a smaller one out of an 1.5 inch piece of wood, square, and probably about 4 inches tall, but I'll give those dimensions as I get started into the carving. But I appreciate it. I also appreciate, once again, 500 subscribers. That's one of the milestones for me, and my first goal was to reach 1,000 subscribers, so I'm about halfway there, and I appreciate all of you that have subscribed to help me reach those 500, and we're shooting for that 1,000 mark, hopefully in the next couple of months. So stick around. I'm not going to show the painting early this time. We'll show it probably at the end or towards the end, and stick around, we'll get started. Dookie, you want a treat? Sit. Spin. 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 Good boy. Speak. Speak. Good boy. So here we go, folks. I've got a 1.75 inch square block of basswood, and it's about 3 5/8 tall. It's not actually 4 inches. It's 3 5/8. And I've got a couple of eyes drawn on here for my front, and make sure that you've got your nice flat bottom as the bottom. If you had to cut your piece, then make sure that it's on top, and make sure you've got all your PPE gear on, personal protective equipment. I like to wear a glove on my left hand and a thumb guard on my right. So the first thing we're going to do is let's take the about 3/4 of an inch down. We're going to call that his hat. Make your 3/4 inch line all the way around. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Go from mark to mark, and let's go all the way to 1.5 inches for the bottom of his head. For the little sea captain. And connect those lines. Just to give us an idea of where we're going to put those first notches in. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with that. Put some V-cuts in on your corners. And we're going to go pretty deep because we're going to round these sides off next. Okay. So let's do a lot of rounding on those corners. Just take those corners off. Leave your little notch in there so you know where to deepen that. And let's go on and take off the bottom corners also. Probably a good almost 1/2 inch from that beginning edge. Make sure you're starting out with a good sharp knife. Go back and put these corners, or put these V-cuts back in the corners that you started with. And I put my eyes in no particular place. All those do is tell me that's going to be the face of the figure, and the eyes are going to end up being a little bit lower anyway. Alright, let's go down to that second line. Put us a V-cut in there. All the way around. Alright, there's what starting out looks like. Alright, so let's go around this top. And let's take off these corners and these edges on this hat. All the way around. Round him a couple of times. Get the rounding started. Alright, now on the hat, let's go all the way around. Let's start connecting those V-cuts all the way around. And 1 3/4 square is a pretty healthy piece of wood. Especially if you're just starting out. So just take little chunks at a time. See how I'm not going all the way across sometimes. I'm just taking out. You can just take out a little bit at a time. Okay. Where'd our face go? I lost my eyes. I'm gonna put my eyes back in. Let's put the eyes right here. If you lost your face, you'll need to establish the face back because we put in a nose and a beard. We don't want to cut all the way across on his face. Okay, so this is our face. We don't want to cut across, but on the rest of it we can go ahead and connect the corners on the bottom of the head there, that neck area. What I meant was, by taking a little at a time, we can just take a little this way at an angle and back down at an angle again, and just continue on with that same type of angle, and that'll eventually get us to the other side. Okay. Now we'll go around it and just thin everything up into the neck area. Just thin that out a little bit. And leave the face alone. We can take some more off of the corner of the lower body all the way around. A little stringy. All right, let's see. This is face. Turn it completely around, and these two back corners, I'm going to take a big chunk of those head corners off. Cut your V back in if you take a little too much, which is fine. Okay, so his coat bottom is about 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. Just about here. Bottom of his coat all the way around, 3/4. And again, doesn't have to be perfect. We just wanted the coat above his feet a little bit. We're going to make his feet visible, but we're going to have him in a long coat. So now we can turn it upside down, and let's put a stop cut in there and cut up to that stop cut for the bottom of the coat, because we might want a nice little flat area to represent the bottom of his coat in here. Okay. So cut up 2 from the bottom of the piece. Hope you can see that okay. Go around on your 4 corners and put that stop cut in, and then we'll start to connect those stop cuts, or those corner cuts, but just make it a stop cut all the way around. And if you're brand new, stop cut is straight in, and then cut at an angle to that cut. Straight in, angled up to that cut. So we finally got out of the snow and ice that we were having. Snow and ice lasted a couple of weeks. And so this week we went into lots of rain. So what I'm doing here is just rounding everything off below the coat all the way around here. So we got a lot of rain yesterday. Even started to come into my basement a little bit. I get out the old shop vac and take care of some water in the basement yesterday. So I am using my big rough out knife for now. We're taking off a lot of wood. It's 1 3/4 inch square. You're going to take off a lot. We'll switch to a more detailing knife when we get through this. Try to make the bottom of your coat and go back around it after you've cut, and just kind of see how I'm kind of leveling, taking off the rough spots. There's a few rough spots here. You see that? Rough spots in here where it's not exactly level. It doesn't have to be. That's not what we're looking for, is exact, but it'll look better when you're painting if you can take those off now. And you can look from the bottom around to see if you're uniform all the way around, even. Okay. Pillsbury Doughboy. Alright, let's, on the face of your carving, come in here at midpoint. If you need to draw a line halfway all the way down, do so. But we're going to go halfway point to split his feet in here. I mentioned at the beginning about folks sending me pictures of carvings that they had done, and I really do enjoy that. I really do enjoy seeing that. That's supposed to be the biggest, most flattering thing is for somebody to copy what you do, and I really enjoy that. Enjoy seeing those pictures. Okay. I need to take these bottoms off of the very bottom. So it's going to be quite a bit smaller than the diameter here of the coat. The feet are quite a bit smaller. Okie doke. That's what we've got so far.